You don't understand. ECT is my last option. I've tried everything else. I convinced myself, because you said that I couldn't have those kind of reactions to medication, that maybe I didn't try enough, maybe I'm exaggerating. And then you made me feel bad about myself again, and you made me hate myself again, because I look at my file, my psychology file, my psychiatrist that my doctor gave me that they don't normally give their patients, because he trusts me. And he doesn't hide anything from me. And there it is, black and white. Antidepressants do not help. They make me worse. They do the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do. Medication does not work. Peer support groups does not work. I have not gotten better in 3 years. It's in there, black and white, from a professional. And I fucking doubt myself. And I hate that. Because of all the people, because you deal with depression, but you don't understand there's different spectrums. You don't feel like getting out of bed sometimes, and it's really hard for you. And I understand that. But you say you get out of bed anyway. I get out of bed anyway, even though I don't feel like it. So you just need to do it. There are different spectrums. There are days where I can push myself to get out of bed. There are days where I can do that, where I may not be that motivated, but I'm able to push myself. And on those days, I push myself. But there are days where there could be a fire in my building, and there's no way I'm leaving my apartment or getting out of my bed. It's like time stops and you're stuck and you can't do anything. But you don't get that. And then you make me hate myself. And I didn't know that was possible. I never thought that you would be someone that I would be videotaping about, that I would be venting about, because you don't judge. At least I thought you didn't. But you do. You judge. You say you don't feel pity. You don't do that. You feel empathy, but you don't pity people. But you do. You pity me. You feel bad for me because you have this family and you have this great upbringing and this and that. And you pity me. And that breaks my heart. Because I am not someone to be pitied. Life has not given me a good hand, and I'm allowed to say, woe is me. I'm allowed to do that. Because in all of my life, I have not had one good hand. Nothing good has ever happened. I've had to work for everything. That's another thing that I often hate about you. You do have depression, and you are unmotivated, and you're not interested in doing things or knowing things about your life and knowing what you want to do. And that's to do with your mental health. 100%. That's to do with your mental health. But it's different for you. Not that my mental health is worse or anything like that, but it's different for you because you have a family. You're very close to your family. You've never known what it's like to struggle. You've never known that. You've partied and you've taken on too much at school and you ran yourself down and you kind of had a breakdown. And that's something. That is something that actually was hard, because in perspective, that is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. So in your life, that is something that's happened to you. But you admitted to me you chose to party. You chose to say, fuck it. You chose to have your family help you. You chose all of these things. I did not get a choice. I have been always taking care of myself. I got kicked out of my apartment or my home when I was 17. I had to provide for myself. I put myself through high school. I did not have an opportunity to party because I was taking care of myself. Because I was working 60 to 80 hours a week to make sure I was providing for myself. Because roommates were bailing on me and I had to pay for a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. There was no one to help me. So I went to work when I was sick, when I had pneumonia, when I had a broken rib, when I had infections, when I couldn't even move. I was so sick. When I had the worst migraine of my life and I was puking and crying in between calls because I worked at a call center, I was working because I did not have a choice. And I say all of this because you seem to think that I have not been productive in my life. Because you compare us. You say that you've not been productive. You've not really worked. You've not really lived by yourself. You've not really not had your family rescue you, basically. And you only see the depressed side of me. So you don't see that I had been productive before the last 3 years, that I worked 60 to 80 hours a week to provide for myself, that there was no one to fall back on, that there was no one to help me out with groceries, with rent money, to take care of me. There was no one to do that. And I hate you a little bit because you have all of those things that I never had. But the main takeaway from this that I hate you for is when you say that I'm not productive and maybe I just don't want to be productive. But I was. Before this depression, I kicked ass. I kicked ass so hard. I was financially independent. I did not answer to anyone. I took care of myself. I worked myself up from my job. I went from inbound customer service, and then I went to sales, inbound sales. And I was so good at my job, I might have taken longer on my calls, but I would get at least 10 sales a day, and the average was 4. And I was so good at my job that most people's orders were canceled because they would call back and the agents wouldn't give them all their information. I was so good at my job as I explained everything. I broke everything down. I asked them, what do you currently have? I made sure that everything they had is exactly what we could offer, and I made sure I told them what the price was. I made sure I told them if there would be price increases and to be aware of that. I told them that if they're in a contract, this is how it works. I told them how it was set up. I did everything in my power to be open and honest. And I had a 90%, what's the word? 90% of my orders did not cancel. And the people that did cancel, it was because basically we weren't able to offer that when we thought we could. We didn't realize, or they didn't realize, or they didn't want to have to do something. But that was not on me. And then I became a designated trainer, and I did sales on top of that. So I rocked. I fucking killed it at life. And then I got depressed. And I don't kill it anymore. But I did kill it. I kicked life in the ass. No matter what it gave to me, the cards, I still kicked ass. You can't kick ass with depression because it robs you of everything. Your financial independence. You're dependent on everyone. Nothing is yours. I cannot live without being on income assistance. I can't. I never was dependent on anyone or anything. Never. But now I am. And I would cut off my arm if it meant I could work again. If it meant I could be independent again. And that's where we're different. Because you don't want to be independent. And if you were to see this video, you would think that I'm saying that your depression isn't as bad and that's what's making you not want these things. But you've told me you don't feel the need to be independent because you live with your sister and you don't have to pay rent. You pay for your groceries. You pay for your car. And if you can't afford things, then you go to your parents and you ask them and they help you. So you have no reason to want to be independent. But you could. You totally could be independent. But you don't want it. And I want it so much. And I hate you because you could have that. And you don't cherish it. Just making sure my cat's okay. Hey, are you cool? Psst, psst. What's up? You look very scared. Hey, psst, psst, psst. Come here. What's wrong? Not sure what happened with my cat. I hate you for that. It's actually nice to vent. I might put this on my YouTube channel. I don't know. Probably. Because then it's saved and I can delete it from my phone. It's not your fault. You have no control over the fact that you had a good upbringing. You have no control over the fact that you have depression, but you have the ability to push through it. Even when you think you can't. That's not your fault. It is not your fault that you've not had to struggle. It's not. You've not been put into that position, so you don't understand it. That's not your fault. And I know this. I really and truly do. I know this. But it is your fault that you make me feel like crap. And it is your fault that you pity me. And it is your fault that you just tell me to just do it. And you make me feel guilty. And that is your fault. It is your fault because you say you don't judge. And then you judge. That is your fault. It is your fault that you say I'm not productive, that I just want to live off the system. That is your fault. Those are the reasons that I hate you. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Because I didn't know that I hate you. But the more I think about it, because I fucking live in my apartment and things go through my head, the more it plays in my mind, the more I can't get it out of my head. And I'm pretty sure I hate you. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that was possible. We've been friends / in a relationship / friends with benefits for over a year now. The way it's been going, there was no chance of really stopping, because it's not stopping either of us from dating. We're basically just doing whatever it is in the here and now. It works for now. And it was working. And the sex is incredible. And I don't have to go and find someone else to sleep with. And I trust you sexually. And I thought I trusted you. But I don't think that's enough. And I'm not sure if we can be friends. In the entire time that I've known you, I've never thought that. But this is twice that you have said these things. And this is twice that you have made me feel this way when I vented. Because I needed to. Because I could do that to you. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm gonna vent some more, and I might repeat myself because I need to. I need to vent. I might still be your friend, your friends with benefits, whatever. But I may tell you that we will never talk about my mental health ever again, because you will never make me feel the way that you make me feel. The way you made me feel, the way you continue to make me feel. Like I just don't want to. I just don't want to get better. I just want to live in my apartment and come out every once in a while and spend time with friends every few days, a month, or every couple of months come out of my apartment. And I just want to lay in bed. And I don't want to shower. And I don't want to eat. And I don't want to make my apartment. I want to make my apartment messy. That I don't want to take care of myself. Who wants that? Who actively would want that? Who would want to be depressed? Who would want a mental illness? Who would want it? What are the benefits of that? How is that anything positive? How does being depressed and living by myself with my cats and barely leaving my apartment and not showering and not wanting to do anything because I'm unhappy and wanting to kill myself and trying to kill myself and not having control on trying to kill myself? Who wants that? Who wants to live on the system? Who wants that? Who wants to never be able to have kids or a relationship because you're so unstable? Who wants those things? Because I don't know. I don't think anyone in this entire world wants those things. So how does that work? How does it work when you tell me that I'm not trying hard enough? What is the payoff for me if you think I'm not trying hard enough and I just don't want to do anything? What's the payoff? How does that benefit me? Does it make me feel like I have a purpose? No, I have no job. My finances are limited. I jump in and out of my friends' lives. How does that benefit me? How do any of those things make my life better? How does that work? Because I don't know how that works. And I don't know in any world why anyone would fake feeling this way. Because sometimes I feel like you think that. Battery's running low. Sometimes I think you think that maybe I'm over exaggerating. But how is that possible? Why? Why would I ever want to fake this? Why would I ever over-exaggerate? How is it possible that I've looked at all of my videos and they're the same? How do I fake that? Why would I fake that? Why would I not just make myself better? What is the payoff? I need to know. I'm probably going to put this on YouTube and you're going to listen to me. If you watch it, you're going to listen to me go over and over with my rant. But if you do, I want to know what the payoff is. Because I don't. What is the payoff of having no interests in your hobbies? I have hobbies. I have a sewing machine that I have not touched, and I got it for Christmas. I have tarot cards, and I'm trying to learn astrology. And I knit, and I like to go for walks. but it doesn't exist. It's there. You look at it, you look at your sewing machine, you look at these things, and you hurt because you know you used to enjoy these things, but you get no pleasure from it. You don't even want to try. And people say, push yourself. So sometimes you find a way. You find a way and you push yourself and you do it for 5 minutes. And then you cry and you beat yourself up because you still have no joy from that. You're numb. Nothing makes you happy. Nothing makes you excited. You're numb. The colors, they're dull. Outside is dull. You're dull. Your face is dull. Your eyes are dull. Life is dull. And that's part of the cycle. That's just something that randomly happens throughout the cycle. I just recently went through the cycle of insomnia. I did not sleep for 36, maybe 39 hours straight. And so that's actually part of the cycle. How it started is, and this is part of the cycle too. It's a different part of the cycle. It happens not every month. It's so random. So at first, I would go to bed early and I would fall asleep for an hour. And then I couldn't sleep until, say, finally was able to sleep at 4. And I slept through half of the day. And I kept doing that, but then I couldn't sleep for an hour. And then I would not sleep until 6. And then it kept going, and then I didn't sleep at night, and I didn't sleep during the day. So it was 36 or 39 hours that I didn't sleep. And this happens. This is part of the cycle. And I convince myself sometimes that there's no cycle. This is not how it works. This is just a one-time thing. I'm just experiencing insomnia. It doesn't happen like this. And then I remember it is part of the cycle. So my doctor gave me Valium because trazodone and other things that are supposed to make you feel sleepy and sedate you, they give me fucking insomnia. So Valium. So I took a Valium and I slept. And then I took another because I needed to catch up on my sleep. And I tried to sleep without the second Valium and it didn't work. So now I can sleep because the Valium broke the cycle. I don't know what would have happened if it wasn't for the Valium. Last time my friend gave me a joint, and that helped me because it puts me back in my sleeping schedule. Another thing I've tried constantly to create myself a schedule. And in 3 years, I have focused so much of my time and my life trying to create a schedule. I didn't realize that. I thought, it's just something that I try to do. And then I look back in my video and I'm trying to create a schedule. I'm trying to create a schedule that I wake up every day. And then I meditate. And then I go and do yoga. And then I have a shower. And then I sweep and clean my apartment. I make sure dishes are done. I eat. And then I go outside for a walk. And also, I drink a lot of water because sometimes with depression, I forget to drink water. So I create this schedule. And it works. It works for a couple days. and then it's gone. And then I beat myself up because there's no schedule. And then I work at it and I work at it, and all of a sudden I have a schedule again. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud of myself. And then I wake up and it's gone. I spend so much of my time trying to create a schedule for myself. My friends tell me, and my psychologists tell me, it's not possible for you to create a schedule. No matter how much you want to, for some reason you can't do it. And by trying to create a schedule and not being able to meet that schedule, you make yourself feel worse. And I do. I'm so depressed right now. And that's the thing. People ask you to describe it. Even my psychologist asks, how are you feeling? What do you mean when you're depressed? It's impossible to explain. You don't feel it, you don't understand. It's like there's a darkness inside you, and the light is almost gone, and you can barely see the light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes there is no light. But let's say I'm not super suicidal, and let's say I'm not planning. There's a small light, but everything is dark. All you can see is a little flashlight. And there's like a darkness around you. There's this negativity. Your thoughts are distorted. You're anxious. You hate yourself. You beat yourself up. You blame yourself. You want to cry in a corner. You feel empty. You feel numb. You feel helpless and hopeless. And you feel like you're going through the motions. And you feel like your heart is breaking. And you don't know how it's possible. But you feel like your heart is breaking every single day. And it hurts. Oh my God, does it hurt? Everything. It hurts. And you don't know how it's possible. You don't know how it's possible for your eyes to hurt. For your heart to hurt. I never understood that. How you could hurt. How you could feel like your heart is broken. But it feels that way. You feel like your heart is broken. You feel